Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Hairy Muppet, and we are going to be getting back into the DreamHack Open Valencia, or maybe it's just DreamHack Valencia. I am not sure, but we're still in the round of 16. I'm saying we're still in the round of 16. We've only actually cast one series so far. That was between Hyun and the STC, and that was pretty freaking awesome. And it was a ZVT, and we're getting back into another ZVT right the hell now. Now, up the top left side of the map, we do have our red Terran player, Dayshi. He is a French player, and he is playing for the Millennium Team Millennium. And yeah, he's pretty freaking awesome. We'll talk about his... actually, we'll talk about it now, because why the hell not? Yeah, Dayshi, man, in the round of 64 it was. He had a little bit of trouble. He defeated Nara and Toru without losing any games. Just ignore that. That's the Game Heart interface, which does that sometimes. But I can assure you the command center is still there. But yeah, in the round of 64, he did lose his series versus Bling. And yeah, then in the round of 32, he had a little bit of trouble as well. He lost versus Stardust. Can't blame him for that. We know that Stardust is awesome. But he did beat Stefano without losing. And he did beat Tefl, dropping one game to Tefl. But yeah, Tefl and Stefano are definitely not slouches by any stretch of the imagination. So yeah, doing a really job getting in there. And I haven't seen him before, but he sounds like a pretty awesome player. And we will be seeing some awesome Terran play from him. And yeah, very fast expansion, but very huge map here. So I suppose he thinks he can get away with it. And YugiOh, the blue Zerg player, definitely knows he can get away with this expansion very early. And yeah, we should be seeing something coming out here. Spawning pool, there we go. So getting on to YugiOh now. He is a South Korean player. He plays for the Root Gaming team. And the round of 64, he just went absolutely nuts. He defeated Minimath, Alastor, and Starnan, or Star NAN. And he did not lose a single game versus any of those players. So just straight on, beautiful 6-0 taking that around of 64. A little bit more trouble in the round of 32, but considering who he was going with, I am not surprised. He went against White-Ra, Huck, and Rhett. I don't know too much about Rhett, but I do know that White-Ra and Huck are very strong players, and he beat both of them. He did drop a game to each of those three players, but coming out on top of all of them is quite impressive. And actually, White-Ra didn't actually make it to the round of 16, which is not, but yeah, Huck going on to the round of 16. We'll see him a little bit later on against Stardust, actually. So that is freaking insane. But yeah, so that's going to be a PvP, and that will be awesome. But I'm getting a little bit off track here. Right now we do have a whole bunch of stuff going on, and we do have a little bit of lag going on as well. But yeah, the Ling's going around all over the place, moving around. That's pretty awesome. And it looks like he's going for an early attack, but Dayshi, he should have at least two Marines, sorry, ready to jump in this bunker. If you hold on a sec, I will try and close some stuff down, because my computer is not awesome by any stretch of the imagination, and it does lag a little bit. Video capturing, I should be like, it sometimes jumps down to about 15, which I'm not happy about. I'm thinking about buying a new computer, but the computer I want to buy is going to cost me a lot of money, and yes, a lot of money is not what I have right now. So maybe a few months in the future we may be seeing the Uber computer of all time, but for now we are just going to have to make do with a little bit of jumps all over the place. But here we go, this drone. Oh, that was not fun. Oh, sorry, that SCV is going in. He didn't really get a scout off on the back, but there was really nothing there. And this is starting to annoy me, this Game Heart interface doing this thing. Maybe there's an updated version somewhere. I'm really not sure, but if there is, I sure would like to find it. And here we go, a bunch of Lings coming out there, but the defenses are quite set up. Dayshi, of course, getting that early command center down, making it work. YugiOh responding with the third base, exactly what he needed to do. And now we are going to be transitioning into the mid game. And yes, we'll be seeing what each of these players does. Now, Dayshi is actually getting a third base down here. But he hasn't got much in terms of production facilities. I'd really like to have seen him get a bit more going. I mean, at least 2 or 3 more barracks, or another factory if he decides to go mech. Maybe even a starport, but he's pushed out for this very early third instead. However, with all this Ling action on the base, I do not think that he's going to be able to actually push out and take that third anytime soon. I think he's just going to have to build workers off it, because he's not in a position to defend it at all. And meanwhile, what have we got going from YugiOh? I believe this is a baling nest, actually. It looks like a baling nest coming down. So yeah, he's going to continue pushing the Ling pressure. A bunch of Hellions coming out, and they will be able to do quite a bit versus these Lings, but with 3 queens right out on the front door is going to scare them away. They may actually, if they do a run around, they could maybe get in here while the queens are out of position. So he's just got to run around and get back, but it looks like he may be just playing it a little bit safe. 3 queens at this base, not that many over here, just 1. So yeah, if Dayshi knew about this, then I swear to God, sooner or later I'm going to F this up and I'm going to start calling him Daisy. And I did not want that to happen, but I'm not sure what I can do to stop it. It nearly happened then. And Dayshi, maybe we'll just start calling him the red player, the red Terran player, because I'm sure being called the red player is a lot preferable to being called Daisy. So there we go. Bunch of Lings just doing a bit of scout. The Hellions coming in. They got 6 now, so they can take out some queens, but 3 queens is going to be too much for them. And the Ling number's starting to get up. He's starting to get some upgrades for his Lings, but meanwhile the Terran player's a little bit ahead, just a tiny bit ahead at his own upgrades. So yes, but looks like definitely YugiOh is going to be concentrating on the income. We can see he's a little bit ahead, but Dayshi actually has done quite a good job of getting his workers up. He's not as far behind as a lot of players would be at this point behind the Zerg player, but you can see the Zerg is really pushing the workers up. He's got 62 and he's got 7 more coming out, so he's just absolutely exploding his economy right now. He thinks he's in a good position, and to be honest, he really is, because he's just a bunch of Hellions in there, and it's ironic that you see this many Hellions, you think, alright, I can go for some more workers, but here we go. Actually getting a little bit of a go there. They might be able to do something with these Lings. Alright, I gotta shut something down, because this is just getting a little bit crazy. We'll shut down my Excel document. Not much else I can really shut down though, but yeah. I can start up the resource monitor to see what's using all the resources, but the problem is my resource monitor is actually slow as well. So yeah, we're just gonna have to wait and see. I might try and cut down on some settings that I don't really need after this. I think I should be able to do that without too many problems. And here we go. What are these? Just a bunch of Lings trying to come through. Alright, so yeah, Dayshi being that's YugiOh being very aggressive with his expansions and continuing to stick with the Ling tech, although he has started to get out some roaches now. And I think his economy is up to the point where it's just going to be absolutely insane. And the 4th base is not going to help that at all from Dayshi's point of view. So yeah, in a few minutes I think we should be able to see just a massive Zerg army come out there and start to overwhelm the Terran player. And our Terran player, he's got a couple of medevacs, probably could use a couple more, but he's starting to get some forces up. However, with this continuous amount of Lings out there, Lings roaches, a few tanks definitely wouldn't hurt in this case. He's going to try and spread the creep, but I think he's going to have to fall back when this army gets in a good position. He does this little bit at the end sort of helps him not get hit by a conclave, but still it's not the best option. And he would love to go in there and snipe this 3rd base, but I do not know if it's going to happen. The creep spread is so good for YugiOh between his bases. He can reinforce it so fast. And yeah, going out to check this base, I think he knew that he didn't really have a chance of getting in there, so yeah, this is base, man. I thought he'd taken it out for a sec, but it just disappeared, man. It's but whatever, we're gonna keep on going. And yeah, these queens actually getting close enough to start taking out the medevacs. He's definitely gonna have to watch that. He's getting some beautiful splits, and the Widow Mines are doing some great job against the Banelings, but yeah, eventually he does enough damage, uses up all his Lings on the Marines, doesn't get the best hits in the world, but he does have more than enough Lings to take out most of that army, and Daishi's going to have to fall back, and he definitely is a bit of a disadvantage. His economy is quite good, but his army is just behind right at the moment, and I really do think a couple of tanks would help him out. I mean, the Widow Mines are good, but tanks are really, you know, really good as well. So anyway, I'm just stuck in the past, I guess, with an old Triple M tank sort of view against roaches and banelings, and I don't know, maybe Widow Mines are the new tanks, but I haven't seen them do really spectacular stuff. I mean, they do what they need to do. They take out a crap ton of banelings, and that's what you need them to do. But I don't know, maybe that's what tanks do as well. Maybe Widow Mines are the new tanks, but yeah, there's a lot of medevacs and a lot of army coming out. So congratulations to Dayshi for really pushing up this army supply, really pushing up these numbers. He's done a great job, and he's done a great job on the upgrades as well. He's got 2-2, whereas the Zerg player is still trying to get 2 weapons on the way. So yes, he's going to be a little bit behind there, and just able to kill that guy. So great job there. Forces moving in, and what will they do? He's going to get a little bit of a flank here. Going to come up behind. He's got to get out of here. This is Death Valley right now, because he can get hit from both sides if the Zerg manages to flank him. But he's trying to flank the Zerg forces at the same time. The Zerg does not want to be flanked, so they just push off, kill out the smaller group of units here, run away from the bigger group over there, and Dayshi doing a great split here, but those banelings are nowhere to be seen. Here they come in here. He's going to have to start doing the splits, and that just came out all wrong. But there we go. He's going to have to start splitting up his army, and he's doing a pretty good job at surviving. He's not doing a great job at defeating YugiOh's Roach Force, though. Those Roaches just keep on keeping on. But he's taken minimal losses from the Banshees. No, sorry, not from the Banshees, from the Banelings. And he's actually done a great job there. I mean, YugiOh pushed in there, but didn't really do a massive amount. Getting them into the medevacs, excellent job there. And he might have had a chance to take out this 4th base, but the reinforcements coming in from YugiOh has shut that chance down. So he's going to have to get out of here. He's trying to hold on, but I think that Dayshi is going to have to run before the Queens start coming down and start wiping out his medevacs. He's got some more forces coming down here from the other side, and he's going to try and push it, taking out a Queen. Very nice there. But I don't think he's going to do it. Reinforcements just going to keep on coming in. He can save his army. He can keep the unit numbers up, but it's actually destroying anything is going to be a bit tough. And one thing about Daishi's play is he is not going for any drops. He's just using his medevacs to support his army as they move out. And with 4 bases spread out, I really think that drops could do a lot of damage here. A lot of good stuff. So far he's just focusing on the middle. He's not really screwing him over, but I think drops are an opportunity that is a little bit wasted at this point. There's a little bit extra that he could be doing that he's not doing. But still, he's definitely not out of this game. He's definitely doing some good stuff. Although with Corruptors coming out from the Zerg player, the major advantage he has with that massive amount of medevacs is slowly... What are these guys? They are changelings. I thought they're red on the map, so I thought they were controlled, but maybe not. They are changelings, and it's not often you see changelings. Actually, they look weird because they're changelings of the level 30 Marines, I think. That's why they look really weird, but it's hard to tell normal level 30 Marines versus the normal Marines, so I don't know. But yes, this is a great job there from YugiOh, just pushing in. Got a large amount of forces, just pushed in there, forced it to lift off, and Daishi's going to try and hold this off here, and I think he might be able to, but with the regroup here, he's regrouped, but he's got a flank from the Terran forces. The Baneling's going to try and take him out, but so many Marauders are going to... You see that guy got hit by like 2 or 3 Banelings there? He just kept on moving. It does not matter to him. And he's just, I don't know, he's just got green crap all over his armor now, but he's just going to keep on going. The Widow Mine's definitely paying for themselves time and again. I don't know how many kills this guy has got, and I know I can screw up this by switching over to different people and then see, but I am not going to do that. 5th base coming down for YugiOh, so he's continuing to put the pressure on, but Dayshi, man, with 4 bases, he knows how to macro Terran style, and yeah, he's going to keep the forces coming out. So incredibly even. Usually, it's usually you see a crazy amount of macro from the Zerg player, but we're also seeing a crazy amount of macro from the Terran player, and really good job here. It's a bit easier, I'm going to say it's a bit easier when you're a Zerg to do a crazy amount of macro, as long as you got the workers, because you just select 6 different hatcheries, you just boom. But Terrans, not only do you have to get the workers out, is this guy off center? No, I think he's on center. But you also have to get all the production buildings. You have to keep them going and stuff like that. It's a little bit harder, just because you have to know how many production buildings you can have. If you have too many, then some of them are wasted. If you have too few, you got minerals that are wasted. So it's a balancing act to try and get that right. And of course, high-level Terran players like Dayshi do very well. And especially when you have to tech switch, that's when it really comes down to how good your production facilities are, whether you have them where you need them. Not very good micro here. He's attacking both of them instead of focusing on one, but I think he's got some bigger things to worry about here with this massive ground force, and they're just coming in here. He's got a ton of reinforcements, but he does not have the bulky group that he would love to have, and YugiOh has that bulky group, so he's just pushing in, doing all sorts of damage. Dayshi needs to regroup, needs to get his army pushed together, and needs to present a solid mass to push away this Zerg force. And he's going to try and do it here, but YugiOh just pushing forward so aggressively. He's going to try and get the flank here, maybe, but the Roach is pushing off. Maybe a little bit worried, but I mean, look at these numbers, man. I mean, YugiOh, I thought he was doing a really good job, but here's 4,000, nearly, yeah, about 4,000 resources lost. He's got the income though to make up for it, so that is how he's staying in the game, with it. Just a superior amount of income. And look at the upgrades, man. He's got 3 on these Lings. Starting to get some air armor as well. So his upgrades are going really awesome. Not concentrating on the Roaches though at all. The upgrades for the Roaches. So it makes me wonder if he's planning on going Ultras at some point, because you think if his plan was to go for the Roaches the entire game. Oh, there we go. He is getting Roach upgrade as well. The ranged upgrade. So he obviously does like the Roaches. He does want to stick with them. And the Lings are starting to get out. They're starting to do a lot of damage. Dayshi is not out. He's constantly holding on. But I mean, that's the entire point. He is holding on right now. He is not pushing out. He is not doing a lot of damage. He is staying in the game. But it is proving to be quite painful for him to stay in the game right now. He's constantly on the back foot. And if the Zerg comes across and takes this base out, then he is going to be in a lot of trouble. And I'm not sure if he can really push this out. There's too much of a gap over there. He's going to try and do it out, but Medivacs cannot hit units. And he's relying on a very small amount of ground units. They're going to be healed up the wazoo, but healing does not save you from a Baneling hit. So, it's just... I think he overcommitted a little bit on the Medivacs, but then again, YugiOh hasn't done a very good job at taking out the Medivacs. Here we go. Managing to push in. Going to take out most of these forces, I think. But the worker loss, just absolutely awesome. He lost like 40 workers in the past few minutes, man. Really insane. He's going to lift up here, but that guy's on fire. So he's not going to be happy about that. And yeah, with that massive attack on all those workers, not able to save them. I think this is just the beginning of the end, because the amazing job that Dayshi has done through this entire game in keeping his military numbers up on par with YugiOh's because of his insane macro. He cannot support that many units anymore. You can see he is starved on minerals at the moment, and he's building as much as he can, but right now you think he's saving him up for a command center, maybe, although I'd love to save this one, I guess. Yeah, so he's managed to save this. He's really got to repair it though. He's got to get some of these mules over to repair it. Come on, repair. Yeah, SCVs are probably going to repair it. Although look at the force coming in. We don't mind hitting some of them, but YugiOh is not going to let this command center stay up. Although he started repairing it just at the last second, and yeah, manages to lift it up, manages to save it. Great job there by Dayshi, but he needs it on the ground. He needs to be mining from it. His second base is out of minerals. His third base is out of minerals. He is starved right now. And yeah, YugiOh mining off his fourth and fifth base and getting a sixth base down as well. So All it's going to come down to is, yeah, YugiOh getting some units which could actually take out that command center, and he's going to be pretty screwed. You can see he's trying to move over. He actually pulled some mules back. I don't know if those guys are going to make it to the base. And yeah, he's actually almost started to mine this out just from the mules on these fuel mineral patches, just absolutely molesting those mineral patches, completely owning them. And look at this army, man. YugiOh knows how far ahead he is. All that dancing around, Dayshi's army is just really screwed at the moment, and all YugiOh has to do is keep pushing in, keep doing the attacks. Even if he loses 2 or 3 units for every one that Dayshi loses, he is still going to be able to do the damage that he needs to do. And here we go once again, the base is going to be knocked down, the workers are going to be knocked down. He hasn't moved all of his workers out there, he's still got some doing the gas back there, but yeah, YugiOh, man, he's just playing it safe. He is not going to do a massive commit yet. He's, holy shit, that is 17 infestors coming out there. That is going to be the death force right there. 17 infestors. I don't know how many infested Terrans one infestor can chuck out, but I know it's like 3 or 4, so do the math right there. That's like 68 infested Terrans in this base. And if you lift up your command center, infested Terrans can still shoot it down. And the amount of fungals he can get off on these guys, oh man. Fungals on medevacs, that is going to be death all over the place. So, yes, I think that Dayshi's days are definitely over. And all I can say is, I haven't called him Daisy yet. So there we go. He has still got something to be happy about in this game. And here we go, Roaches coming down, Marines jumping back. They want to keep this base alive, that is all they want. But yeah, look at this base, man, fully mined. He's got a ton of things coming up here, spores and spines, great defensive stuff. And they're actually all spines, so he's not really worried about medevacs too much. And here come the army of infestors. Is this 17? It feels like more than 17. Have a look at units, he's actually got 25 total, so that is just a stupidly large amount of infestors, but he's got the money. Actually, look at this. Dayshi's got a crap load of gas, man. He's been mining gas all day. We should have a crap load of ravens coming out. Just raven madness versus infestor madness. That would be freaking awesome to see. Although, I don't know. Who would win ravens versus infestors? I have a feeling that, that the ravens would win. Because these guys, I mean, a couple of raven bombs down on them, just massive damage. I don't know how easy it is to split these guys. But then again, fungals wouldn't be too good, but infested Terrans would be pretty insane. I mean, the ravens would constantly have to be running. They'd have to be running left, right, and center. Drop trying to go down here, but you can't drop against a... And look at the map, man. He's pushing in from every direction at once. Great job there. But I don't know if he was expecting infestors. It obviously was, because that's why he pushed in from like 3 or 4 directions at once, and he's going to force these infestors back. Marauders, of course, going to do a great job at sniping and infestors, but YugiOh getting out of there really quickly, does not like that position. And meanwhile, Dayshi just push on straight past. He is going to snipe a hatchery here. Really awesome play there from Dayshi. But it may be too little too late here. I mean, he's going to take out a lot of workers. He's going to take out the spine crawlers, but right now the army coming back, and these guys are all dead, man. They are all trapped. They'd love to take out the hatchery. They may very well be able to. But right now they're just taking out all the burrowed workers. But here they go, the infested Terrans coming down. And there is no way any of those guys are coming home. They're sitting in some reinforcements at the back. But going up against infested Terrans, man, is just too much. And Dayshi knows that he is just overmatched in that game, man. Just too many forces coming at him. So he gives the GG, because how can you possibly win against that many infestors? There's like 100 supply worth of infestors there. I assume they're like 4 supply each or something like that. So, yeah, freaking insane. Although, no, they can't be 4 supply each. I don't think they can be, because there's too many of these units popping around. There's like 50, 60... 74, so that's 74 already. So the infestors must be 3 supply each, if you include the queens and banelings and all that. So 3 supply each is still pretty decent, but 75 supply worth of infestors, not bad at all. And yes, alright, we are going to be moving on to game number 2 now. And YugiOh doing a really, really great job. Some very, very solid Zerg play against a Terran player. And yes, completely awesome. The first ZVT game we saw, it was... shut down Excel. Who was it? It was Hyun versus the STC. And we did see some really, really awesome Zerg macro play. And we have seen that again, but... Dayshi definitely not getting caught by surprise. Not really making it easy for the Zerg player. Really sticking it out there and doing a great job. So we'll have to go back into game 2. And if these guys have another macro game like this, it's going to be so awesome. Just, really awesome. So anyway, I will catch you guys in game number 2. This has been Hairy Muppet. I hope you enjoyed this game.